Gatorade Zero, the #1 proven electrolyte blend, made with zero sugar. Designed to hydrate better than water so you can lose more sweat and push more limits. Gatorade Zero. Is it in you?
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Tired of spills and stains on your sofa? WashableSofas.com has your back. Featuring the Anabay Collection, the only designer sofa that's machine washable inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly prices. That's right, sofas start at just $699. Enjoy a no-risk experience with pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and changeable slipcovers made with performance fabrics. Experience cloud-like comfort with high-resilience foam that's hypoallergenic and never needs fluffing. The sturdy steel frame ensures longevity, and the modular pieces can be rearranged anytime. Check out WashableSofas.com and get up to 60% off your Anabay sofa, backed by a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not absolutely in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping or restocking fees. Every penny back. Upgrade now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change, and certain restrictions may apply.
Jordan and Jake.
I feel good. I'm excited, ready to go.
The home stops. He throws it across field. Guess who? Jordan Gross.
Here are your Panther Hall of Honor members, Jordan Gross and Jake Delhomme.
Is this episode 3? Is that, Jake, is that where we're at? Episode 3 of the Jordan and Jake podcast for this season?
I think it is, Jordan.
They're already blurring together. It's happening so fast.
I just remember episode 1 because you had the coach raspy voice.
Oh, yeah.
You had just started practice.
You got to get in game shape, bud. That's what the preseason's for. I could go back to that at any moment. Depends on how practice goes for a couple days. But so far, so good.
Well, that's a good thing.
What's going on with you? You traveled. I want to hear about the game, but you traveled. You're traveling again this weekend. Just taking care of business in between.
Well,
you're like Greg Olsen, just traveling every weekend for football.
Yeah, no, I'm not like Greg.
Poor man's Greg Olsen is what I'm going to call you.
Yeah, very poor. I can only.
That should be the name of this episode, producer Matt. Poor man's Greg Olsen.
Yeah, if I could, I would give anything to be able to walk in Greg Olsen's shoes, right?
Did you happen to see the episode he was on with Bussin' with the Boys where they were talking? Did I talk about this last week? I think I might have, about him talking about high school football.
Yep. No, we kind of briefly mentioned it.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I'm just riding a high still from him talking about that. But anyway, so you traveled 2 times. You're traveling again this weekend. You traveled last time.
I'm not doing it this weekend. We're moving the youngest into college. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I did travel last week. It was great to be back in Charlotte and see a lot of familiar faces, and just great to get back to some football.
Can we talk about the game? Yeah, let's go right into it.
Please do.
Yeah, go right into it. So preseason game, got to see our starters. Not bad out of Bryce Young and company. First drive was quick, but then they go down and score a touchdown. Looking for white pants, blue top, my least favorite combo. I just got to say that. So,
really? That did not bother me one bit. I hear you, but no. Okay.
You don't notice stuff like that, but I do. Plus, no logos in the end zone. It was just, man, this didn't look like the Panthers.
Yeah, that's different. And then the sidelines, some of the tarps are not down yet. Because, man, I think they had a soccer game the night before, possibly. So there's so much going on. But, yeah, it definitely, it's not fully dressed. But you're not supposed to be fully dressed, right? Because
they were fully dressed, Jake.
Yeah.
That's incorrect.
But, the whole everything that encompasses a true game day. But listen, it was good to be back. Good to see all the guys and good to see some football. And I'm like you, wanted to watch a couple of players. And, yeah, we knew Derek Brown wasn't going to play. J.C. Horn wasn't going to suit up. But I think the biggest thing, you hear all week long we had a production meeting and play fast, play tempo, and things like that. And I just loved offensively. Yeah, 3 and out on the first drive, but watching Bryce operate, watching him play, the accuracy, I think it just feels like the last month of the season. And it seems like he's playing that way, playing fast, making checks, making adjustments. You got the beautiful fade route to T-Mac on the sideline. He was able to keep the sideline. And Steve and I addressed it during the game. I said it's so important when you run a go route, especially a young receiver, you just want to get past the DB and run. Well, you get pushed to the sideline, and the sideline's an extra defender. And that's what the DB wants you to do. But he was able to get on top and stack him. What I mean by that, he was able to keep about a 4 to 5 yard distance from his outside shoulder to the sideline. And Bryce was able to drop the ball, and he made a fantastic catch. He made another catch a little later on, and he actually had – it was a drop in the end zone, but if you think about it, he just didn't get his head around quick enough because it was a double move. He went to the post, one step back to the corner, and back across the corner's face again. And Bryce let the ball go, anticipation, accuracy, and it bounced off his hand, and he knew right away, and he looked back at Bryce, and he gave a thumbs up like, I've got to get my head around quicker. And those are things that's what preseason's for. But, yeah, nice to see that. Jalen Coker once again, Adam Thielen, made a play. Jatari Carter was able to start at left guard. D-Lou sat out. Gave up a pressure early in the game, but other than that, really played well. So, yeah, it was good to see. And defensively, certainly not a bunch of guys playing, but the first team defense, or the majority of them, when they were in there, really did a nice job. It's good to see some of the new pieces. Like you watch a Bobby Brown. It's a big man. A big man that's going to help. Turk Wharton, you can just tell, is going to be that energizer bunny. Him and Nick Scorton also. You watch Scorton just have a motor. Princely, he's long and can bend and can move. Like, guys are going to help us. Pat Jones, DJ Wanham, a healthy DJ. So I'm looking forward to the season. Big test, right? As we're taping this, the Panthers will be practicing against Houston tomorrow in Houston. And it's twofold. One, that's a very good football team with a lot of talent. But two, it's going to be hot. Today, and we're on the same plane as Houston, same weather, 107 heat index, humidity through the roof. So it will be hot tomorrow. Get great work because we open up in Jacksonville. And it's been very rainy in Charlotte and some of the practices. The weather hasn't been that bad. So, yeah, good work against Houston tomorrow. Anxious to hear how that goes.
Fortunately, that practice is scheduled, for 9 a.m., so it'll only be super muggy. Shouldn't be terribly hot yet, Jake. That'd be like the Spartanburg days.
Right, I get it, but okay, so right now, as we're taping this, it's in the morning, and it is 92 degrees already. I mean, it's. I'm telling you, it's just, it's not Spartanburg hot. I go to Spartanburg because it was easier than it was in South Louisiana. It's a different kind of game. I'm just telling you.
I got you. Well, I'm not. Well, the game on Saturday is at noon kickoff local time, so that should be getting. Maybe they close the dome
Indoors, yeah. It'll be indoors. It'll be closed.
They'll close it. You ever play any football games at that stadium, Jake? We played one.
Yeah, I might have. I was, first game ever at that stadium. First game ever. I am backing up a rookie out of North Carolina, and we're playing the Panthers. I got there that week.
No, your first game ever there was in 2003.
Well, that's
what I was getting at. I was getting at the Super Bowl, but we could talk about the end of your career if you'd like.
No, well, hey, was it Richie Brocco? Richie Brocco from Baruski, y'all scored on. I remember
exactly.
Yesterday.
Annexation of Puerto Rico. We called it Fumblerooski, but that's really what it was. That's his famous moment. What'd you think of the Liget fight getting ejected, Jake? He apologized kind of to the fans, like a little frustrated, but I just think that stuff's awesome. It's so funny. We were talking about fighting last week on the podcast, and then there's a fight today. But he's lucky he didn't break his hand. He went fast with the punches to the helmet, Jake. It was just, you're not thinking clearly at that point.
No, you're not thinking clearly. They were locked up, and I guess the face mask was being grabbed, and the boom, boom, boom combination. And I think that's the biggest thing, Jordan. Like, you don't want to see that. We want to see you on the field, We can't have that. I'm glad it was the preseason. It was addressed. I think he apologized. He totally understood that was out of character for him. Kind of sounds like out of character for both players, but that's why you
The
have the
fans loved
preseason.
it though, Jake. Did you hear the crowd cheering? It's like hockey.
Yeah, I did, but I want him on the field, Jordan. I want him. I
Yeah,
want to
because is he
see him
out this
play.
week? Is he out this week because he got ejected?
I don't think
No.
so.
Okay. All right.
No.
Yeah. I can't remember what the rules are in the preseason.
No, I
So
think the ejection piece of it, that is more high school and college. I don't believe
right,
the
but I didn't know
pros.
if there. I don't know what preseason rules were at all. That's because. What do you think? Is the fine though is full in season value?
You would think the fine, yes. So the only ejection will be money ejected out of his paycheck. That's the only ejection.
I'll tell you what I did like that the Panthers did was playing McMillan extra. He got work with the Andy Dalton in the second group. I thought that was a great move for a young guy. Limited preseason, less practices, all the stuff we've all talked about too much. I love seeing him get some extra plays out there, Jake.
Yeah, Jordan, I'm all about like getting some plays and getting some reps. I just think you can practice all you want and you get really good work. And I'm speaking probably more so quarterback wise. You're so insulated with a red jersey or a practice jersey, and you get a little too brave and a little too comfortable in the pocket sometimes. You got to be able to feel that rush, and it becomes real because week one, it's very different. Most everyone's healthy and everyone's flying around, and your eyes are not truly adjusted.
Did you see that Tuesday night, the Panthers did a joint practice with a little 11 and under youth football team from the PAL League, coached by CMPD police officers? How sweet was that, Jake? And I tell
That's
you this
awesome.
much, being a youth football coach also, to be able to go do that with those kids, holy moly, what a cool deal. And they were getting into it too. I saw some of the clips. That's full tackle football, Jake.
Yeah, Jordan. I mean, just think about it. You're getting to go on the Panthers field and around like guys that you worship, right? And then you just see the sheer size, and you watch how our players interact with them. They became kids again. I mean, like that was them. That was us. What, 10, 12, 15 years ago, right now? Well, not you and I, but the players.
I know what you mean.
And just to get to see those guys, and how awesome was that? I just love things like that.
Well, what I think is neat is Dave Canales has built in a lot of this stuff, into this program, and it's different. It's like practices are short. They get out of there a little earlier than possibly they could. There's the schedule. I'm looking at the training camp schedule that all of us staff guys get. There's family staff dinner Thursday night when they get to Houston. Just making time to like kind of enjoy, and he talks about it. Coach Canales all the time talks about, man, this is fun. What a great day. He starts his press conferences with such energy and what a great day this is. And can you believe this? And you see like him just appreciating being on the field. And it shows in the players. Then they get the opportunity to be around those young kids and they're engaged. Icky's trying to get reps at tackle out there on the field. They're cheering him on, man. It's good stuff. If it converts to winning, because that's what it's all about. It's like, I pay attention to the way that he's doing things, and man, it sure seems like he's got it moving in the right direction, Jake. I enjoy being around it.
Yeah, it's fun to see, and it's all about it's about bringing out that competition aspect, right? And that's the Pete Carroll way. And you're hearing stories out of Las Vegas right now with the Raiders, just oh my gosh, it's just so different. Everything's about competing, but we're gonna have fun and we're gonna compete and we're gonna coach you up, and that's what it's about, man. This game is very difficult and hard, and to touch what you talked about with the family deal, like this is your family. You're away from this is your family, and it's good to be able to do that with the family and things like that, because it's a long, hard season, and hopefully there's a lot of wins baked into it so we can truly enjoy it. But there's going to be times where it's going to be tough. It's very tough. It's difficult. There's hard times. The body's going to hurt. You'll battle through an injury, and it's a long, hard season. And when you can create an environment that it's fun to come to work, and yes, it's tough, and yes, we're going to have constructive criticism. That's what it's about. But you kind of create that environment. It makes it makes a championship environment.
You know who's had it tough the last couple seasons I'm rooting for is Austin Corbett. And when we came into camp this year, there was the competition between him and Cade Mays. Coach Canales has seen enough. He says Corbett's our guy, and Cade now is in the rotation with Lewis out with the shoulder deal at left guard. Cade's getting some reps there with the ones at left guard, but that's a guy, man. I want to see him healthy. I want to see him play a full season, lead that group, just continuing on with kind of that attitude that I love out of Coach Canales. I see it with Corbett. I've got to be around him a little bit and just kind of love his energy, Jake. But I was so happy to see him as that starter because I know those O-line guys love him, and it's got to be comfortable for Bryce Young to have a veteran like that he's taking snaps from.
Yeah, Jordan, I can agree with you there. I've gotten to know Austin, I'd like to say fairly decent, and great human being. The game means so much to him. He's had a couple of injuries throughout the last 3 years, and I know we're better when he's in there, and I look forward to a healthy Corbett, and he just seems like he's that leader. He's that glue guy. And Cade Mays, I mean, still just a young kid who stepped in, and I think I read where he's getting some opportunities playing a little guard. We're going to need him at some point, right? You're going to have to just depth-wise, it's always crucial. And I'll say it again, the 17-game season, that's long, man. It's long and it's hard. And, yeah, but Austin, very happy for him. And hopefully we can stay as healthy as possible heading into the season.
A lot of receivers were getting a lot of pub in the preseason, Jake. Obviously, T-Mac, Thielen, Leggett listed as our starters. But, man, Moore, Renfro, Coker, Jimmy Horn Jr., how do you – I love all the weapons that it seems like we've assembled. How do you think it's going to play out when it gets down to the final roster, Jake? This is going to be an interesting situation.
I think it definitely will be. I think special teams will play a very crucial factor in all this. But I think the big thing, and I think I heard Dave Canales say it, you just worry about your play on the field, on the practice field, in the meeting rooms, and the games, and things will take care of itself. Hopefully there's not an injury that happens that kind of makes a decision for someone, but you just let it play out. I've always believed that you just let it play out, and the more competition you can create, it kind of raises everyone's game. So yeah, it's I'm anxious to see Renfro in a game type situation. I'm not sure what the whole situation will be going into the game on Saturday. Yes, they have the practice against the Texans on Thursday, so I don't know exactly how that will go. But yeah, I want to see him, because certainly coming out of hearing coaches talk, hearing players talk, it certainly sounds like he's a difficult cover. Right. And we know T-Mac, we saw some of the plays he made. I think Thielen, you just kind of understand. But one thing that I heard Canales say last week, hey, listen, 3 receivers basically kind of play. I mean, there's not enough footballs to go around. So it's going to be who's the 3 the coaching staff feels are the top 3. So it's going to be interesting how it all plays out.
It's crazy how fast this preseason goes, because this is the last time we'll see the starters play. What do you think, Jake? 2 quarters, quarter and a half? I mean, they're not going to go into the second half, I couldn't imagine. What do you think that – because the way it is, the starters are not playing against Pittsburgh the following week, and then it's like 3 weeks until there's a game. How do you think the snap counts are going to go?
Yeah, Jordan, I think a lot's going to be predicated on most likely how the practice goes with the Texans. I mean, if you get great quality work, big-time work, and you can see things that are moving in your favor or direction, I think that's going to determine a lot. Yeah, Jordan, I don't know exactly how it'll play out. It was so easy, I guess you can say, way back when you had the 4 preseason games and you could kind of gear up. You knew exactly how it was going to go. But after the last preseason game, then you have a bye week. In essence, every team has that bye week to get yourself ready for week 1. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure how it's all going to play out and who they're going to decide to play and not play. But that's where, that's why coaches get the big bucks. Canales changed what he did from last year and not playing many starters to this year. You learn about your team and what do you think they need?
Absolutely, Jake. And learning about our team, I like looking at all the projections right now, right? So I read an ESPN article. They said we're going to the ceiling and the floor record-wise for every team. So take it with a grain of salt, whatever you want to do with this, Jake. They got the Panthers ceiling at 10-7, floor at 5-12. X factor, the defense. Can it go from one of the worst or the worst statistically in some categories last year, 2024? Huge focus in the offseason with Dan Morgan and company. But that's where it looks like they say up to the defense if we go 5-12 or 10-7. Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, Jordan, I hate to put a number on it. I guess
I always make you every year, though.
I know. Listen,
And you don't have to do it right now because I'll probably ask you again and I'll forget that we talked about it.
I just think I want to see continued growth. I think for me, if we have 5 wins, I'd be disappointed. I'd love to see us kind of hit that 7 threshold and maybe get 1 or 2 more. Hell, I'd love to get 12, Jordan, but I think we need to be realistic. We're still developing this roster. This roster is not there yet. We're still developing. And we've had a couple of injuries or mishaps already at linebacker. Josie Jewell, anticipated starter. He's not there anymore on this team. Claude Charles went down with a groin. Hopefully he's not out long next week. Hopefully he's not out long and he can come back. But, you got to stay injury free. But I'm like you. We addressed the offensive line after the 2023 season. Check mark. That was good. The defense after last year, we needed to address. I think we addressed the D-line a great amount. We addressed the safety position. But getting Derek Brown back and all, our defense will be better. I don't think there's any doubt. We got to stay healthy there, especially cornerback-wise. And safety-wise, can we get another safety to emerge? We signed Trev Morig. Can we get another one to emerge out of this bunch? So, yeah, Jordan, I would love us to hit the 7 threshold, plus or minus. Might like to think more plus, a game or 2 there. But growth, once again, continued growth, and see where we're going forward. Jordan, we don't know who our kicker is yet. Eddie was a very consistent kicker. To me, one of the interesting facets is now it's special teams. With the ball coming out to the 35-yard line, there's going to be more returns because you don't want to kick it into the end zone. I mean, the 35-yard line, the way kickers are nowadays, 2 first downs, you're kicking a field goal. You're giving up points. So
70-yard field goal kicked this week.
Exactly. Gunner-wise on special teams, we don't have our gunners from last year. Both of them are gone, Lonnie Johnson and Sam Franklin. So still some questions to be decided on this team, and that's what preseason's for. But, just continued growth is where I'm at.
Last thing before we go, Jake, have a little fun. I love watching Panthers social media. They pulled the guys randomly as they were getting onto the practice field. What's your Mount Rushmore of dipping sauces? So it could be, ketchup, ranch, whatever. So Jake Delhomme, I'm going to ask you, what's your Mount Rushmore of dipping sauces? There's 4 people on Mount Rushmore. So I'm going to need 4.
Wow, let's see. Well, thanks for telling me there's 4 people on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, well, I didn't know if you knew. You're down there in the South. It's a long ways away.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's right. We're in the third world country down in the South.
I've been to Mount Rushmore. It's actually way cool. But anyways, on to the dipping sauces.
Man, Jordan, I'm not I don't really use that much, but if I will, listen, ketchup, you got to go with ketchup. I think that's one. For wings, yeah, I like ranch, but man, I can go ranch or blue cheese. And I'm going to tell you one, and you're going to laugh at me. There is a pizza local chain down here. They have 3 locations, all in the Lafayette area. They make the French dressing, and I'm telling you, they sprinkle some cayenne pepper in it or whatnot. It's like little red specks. It is fabulous. So those would be 3. And I'd got to go with one more, a little spicy mayo.
Ooh,
spicy mayo. Yeah. So those would be my 4.
All right. Not bad. I go ketchup, even though I'm kind of like graduating out of it, I feel like. But French fries, I'm blue cheese on wings. I'll go ranch, but I'm blue cheese.
I'm like French you. I agree with you there.
Anyway, either way, French dressing just sounds horrible. But I would probably go with, I got this thing called Truff. It's truffle oil hot sauce. It's outstanding. It's really expensive. And then spicy mayo. Exactly. I put it on a lot of stuff. All right. Thanks for letting me have a little fun there. Jake, we'll talk Texans after this week is over. I'm on game week next week. We got a game already next week, so things are heating up in this part of the country.
Okay, is the team fully prepared, or do you like the direction you're in, or you're ahead of schedule?
I'll tell you, I'm going to say one thing, and you tell me how we're doing. One of my linebackers, day one of practice, it was hot out, not Louisiana hot, and we were super up tempo practice, right? Conditioning built in to the practice flow, like we're making a move. We're doing team period. He pukes, and the ball snapped, and then he immediately just goes running to the ball in the team run drill. How are we doing?
Yeah, he probably needs to be team captain.
Exactly. It was through the helmet. He drank too much water during the water break. You know how that goes. Pukes through the face mask. Boom! Immediately to the ball. It was awesome.
Love it. All right, so it sounds like the Grizzlies are ready.
We're not ready, but we're on the right track. Good talking to you, buddy. I'll see you next week, man. Be good.
Sounds good. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Are you fumbling when it comes to getting a confident clean to your end zone? Make the right play. Call an audible and switch from dry toilet paper to wet, extra-large Dude Wipes. Why? It's simple. Wetter just cleans better. Dude Wipes are wet and extra-large so they clear, never smear your rear. So when you go for two, be sure to bring the #1 product in clean. Dude Wipes, the GOAT of cleaning your keister. Available on Amazon and at major retailers nationwide. Dude Wipes, best clean, pants down.
Deadlines shift, plans change, and sometimes you just need promo products fast. Turn to 4imprint. 4imprint has hundreds of promotional items available with 24-hour turnaround, from custom apparel and drinkware to trade show gear, writing tools, and more. Your logo is printed with care, your order ships fast, and with their 360-degree guarantee, you know it'll show up right and on time. That's the certainty of 4imprint. Check out the full 24-hour selection at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Gatorade Zero, the #1 proven electrolyte blend, made with zero sugar. Designed to hydrate better than water so you can lose more sweat and push more limits. Gatorade Zero, is it in you?